Hey everybody, we're doing that Q&A video that we put posts on all of our social medias for a while ago, and I have to edit it. Fuck me. We're going to start on Instagram, and we're going to answer our first question from Bryce1741. They ask, how did y'all come up with the name of the band? And I wish I could give you a real magical story of inspiration and deep meaning, but our first guitar player, Alex Moss, looked up some words, I guess. I don't know. And he found the word Katharsis, spelled with a C. And then because metal and because corn, it starts with a K.
Before we go any further, let's do all the Twitter questions. Oh, wait, there weren't any Twitter questions. So follow us on Twitter at Katharsis Boys. Boom.
All right, our next question comes from Mel's Artibus. And it says, what's your dream venue to play at? When you get big, will you stick to your roots and make Michigan a priority in your tour?
My dream venue to play at is the Pine Knob Music Theater because it's a big outdoor venue. Pretty much any big outdoor metal festival is like a dream gig, but especially Pine Knob because I've seen so many shows there. It's just a really, really, really cool venue. And definitely keeping Michigan as a priority tour-wise because we obviously love coming back to a hometown, especially because this is where we've pretty much established most of our fan base already. So coming home is always great, even if we go out of state for a day or whatever. But yeah, I would always try to keep Michigan in our tour schedule.
All right, our next question comes from Garrett from Disorderlies and Apocalypse, asking, piece of gear you regret getting rid of the most?
I say the first guitar I ever bought was an Epiphone Les Paul Special. Just a cheap beginner guitar, but I ended up selling it a couple years later. And just for the sentimental value, I would like to have that one back.
All right, this next question comes from Caleb from the band Siphoned. Why does chicken taste like fish and fish tastes like chicken? Well, it's a funny story, really. Our next question comes from the Metal Guy 666. He asks, do you plan on returning to the studio? Also, what songs are you guys the proudest of?
We are currently recording right now, so we're basically getting all the tracks done, and we have rhythm tracks, drums, and bass pretty much basically done. And then a lot of the guitars and, getting vocals and layers and all that stuff. But I would say the song I'm the most proud of so far is probably Prophecy, one of our new songs.
My proudest song that we've ever done that hasn't been released right now has got to be Praised because it's got a great chorus and a lot of harmonies and just a really, really cool verse drive riff. It's a really cool song altogether with and it's also really dynamic in just really two parts. You got the first half of the song and then you got like the second half of the song. For the people who've seen it live, you know what we're talking about. For the people who haven't, well, go check on our YouTube because there's probably a video of it.
I'd say any of the 4 newest songs, and I'm biased because those are the ones that me and Ty were here to help write. So yeah, Evading Equilibrium, Prophecy, like Ty said, Purpose, and Redacted, all just sick bangers.
I agree. All of those are sick bangers. I'm the most attached to whatever is the newest. And the ones we're writing as we speak. Those are all my favorites too. All right, our next question comes from Owen Show. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. Is there any music you guys draw inspiration from that would be considered unexpected?
You could probably hear a lot of our influences in our music. You could probably hear stuff like Alice in Chains, obviously, the dark moodiness of it, and just, like some newer metal bands that we try to sound like. But I think, at least me personally, I like to incorporate like a lot of 70s prog rock, and then occasionally I'll like take like classical elements and stuff, and maybe even some like jazz fusion elements, and try to work that into my writing and playing. So yeah.
Our next question comes from Alex Arning from 10,000 Teeth. Other bands in the music scene you'd like to collaborate or play shows with? I feel like the most fun show we could have would be like Katharsis, 10,000 Teeth, Apocalypse, Vulgara, Letters from Abel, Disorderlies, Passing Thought. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Siphon. That's a good band. I mean, if all of those bands could be on one show, like everyone plays. Oh, yeah. So just Marysville, Metal Mayhem, just that, but all over again, probably. Yeah. All right. Our next question comes from our good buddy, Caesar. What bands inspired you guys to make Katharsis the way it is? And do you have any plans of experimenting?
Like Beck was saying before, the Alice in Chains style, you know, the harmonies and the powerful choruses, and the moodiness, and especially the moodiness of bands like Korn. They're, you know, a little bit heavier with the lower tunings. We're experimenting already for the first time with lower tunings. We have one song that is going to be on the album that's a 7-string one, and we've played it a couple times live, and a lot of people seem to like it, so which is even cooler. Yes, that's the experimenting part, and some different time signatures, you know, for that sort of thing. Bands that influence us, especially from Alice in Chains to Korn. There's been some newer bands that we've gotten into these past couple of years. Gojira, Trivium, and some outside influences. Tyler is a really huge fan of this band called Between the Buried and Me. I'm right now listening to a lot of Meshuggah, and just coming off a huge. I was a huge fan of this band called Snot.
Just keep it fresh, you know, and new, and try, you know, take our old influences and, you know, obviously take stuff from them, but, you know, build off, you know, a bunch of different bands and influences that each of us like, and just combine it and see what, you know, big musical pool it can create.
Nikki Lynn 26 asks, what can we expect next from Katharsis?
Nothing.
Next question is from Ian Simcard. Any upcoming covers y'all working on?
No.